Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Stephanie Baker, the co-founder and president of corporate growth and development of the Kipling Group. Stephanie brings a fascinating mix of expertise in strategic growth and marketing with over a decade of experience in client-centered solutions across industries like forensics and investigations, and a passion for helping clients elevate their businesses through bespoke consulting. Based in Houston, Texas, the Kipling Group, founded in 2024, is revolutionizing how executives and businesses access personalized marketing strategies, fine wine consulting, luxurious travel experiences, and specialty services. We'll be exploring her founding story, how her business empowers clients in the luxury consulting space, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Stephanie, welcome to Founders Future.
Howdy, thanks for having me. Glad to be here today.
An absolute pleasure and an honor, Stephanie. I know we have a great conversation in the past, so truly looking forward to the episode for our listeners here. So if we can start at the beginning, Stephanie, for our listeners here, what specific problem in the consulting landscape really inspired you to start the Kipling Group?
Absolutely. My experience is really an inch deep and a mile wide. And anytime I was looking into roles, I would be pigeonholed into doing one thing for a 9 to 5. And
Yes.
even at small companies where you get to wear a lot of hats, you have your role, you have your title, you have your job. And for me, I wanted a way to be able to have that expansive knowledge and to be able to help others problem solve. So for me, the only answer to doing that and also getting paid was to become a consultant so that I could work across multiple industries, wear multiple hats, and provide different types of solutions on a regular basis. The only way to do that was start a company.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And here we are, clear as day. Following the path and following your dream and the vision can really lead to some incredible things. And I think that's the best part of having the podcast, having founders on like yourself, is if you have a desire to be successful, chase it. And it's a beautiful thing what comes about. So with that, I would love to get into the nuts and bolts with you here, Stephanie, really how you're generating revenue with the Kipling Group today, following that dream, being successful. Walk us through the core offers. I know that you have tailored marketing strategies, the luxury excursions, the fine wine consulting. Walk us through all of your core offerings and who is the ideal client that you work with on these offerings?
Absolutely. The ideal client for me is anyone who's a referral. I am a relationship-driven person. Every job that I've had that led me up to this point is a relationship-driven industry. And as much as we love AI, it's never going to take away the human-to-human connection. So my client, my best client, my next client, hopefully is a referral and a relationship that I can build and develop. That's a quick answer to that question. But in terms of how did I get here, I couldn't be here without my business partner. I think things through audibly. I write draft copy and say it out loud. I talk to someone else, and I wouldn't be here without my business partner and also the someone to get some of the paperwork done that is often missing on my desk, right? So I need a thought partner and a consultant for my own side of the work so that I can show up and help others, whether it's draft their website copy or draft their messaging, listen to them think through their problems so that we can come up with a solution together. Because oftentimes I find that my client thinks they have a certain problem, and through having conversations, we're going to develop, no, you actually are really well set up and positioned there. This is actually where we could focus our efforts and find a little bit more impact for you.
Absolutely incredible. So really, what would you say right now, Stephanie, is the main offering that you see a lot of your clients attracted to, where you're really pushing a lot of? Is that going to be around the marketing, the tailored strategies that you're implementing, or more around the excursions? What can you say is the main offer for you right now?
It's really client dependent. And
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a cop out, but it's not, because our solutions are so tailored to a specific need. One person might have a very clear message.
Mhm.
They're just not reaching their audience. So they don't have the vessel to get that message out there.
Right.
Others have a wonderful product and they have key core clients, but they don't know how to grow that. So for them, it's strategic growth. Other folks really just want to have a client appreciation event. And then it's becoming, we don't do events and we don't have that strategy and we don't know how to do that. That's not part of our offerings. Is that something you can help us with? So we're going to do that with them and focus our efforts there. We also work with a lot of individuals and solopreneurs and entrepreneurs to help backfill some of the opportunities within their organizations that they haven't quite reached that full-time need. So a lot of the work that we're doing, we used to call it contract work. I think the buzzword's fractional. So we do a lot of fractional work as well and helping to identify at what point do you need that to be full-time and at what point is fractional okay?
Amazing. So on that point, I would love to get a bit of insight from you here, Stephanie, on how you're approaching the idea of scale. Being that this is so personalized and tailored to each and every one of your clients, how are you productizing your offer to really scale the Kipling Group to the next level? Is that something you're thinking about, or do you want to really keep this as boutique as possible, more of a passion project? What's your mindset there?
Sure. It's certainly a passion project, but each time that I enter a new relationship with a client, it doesn't take away from the passion that I have with my other book of business. So
Right.
for me, it's always going to be a relationship driven and it's always going to be one-on-one work, whether it's myself, my business partner, or a member of our team. But our scalability is as long as we can stay engaged. And
Mm,
each client needs a different level of engagement, right? Each type of kid needs a different type of engagement and a different
right.
level of your attention. So for us, the scalability is how much time and attention does a particular client need before we take on more time and attention for our next client? Because we want to make sure that we're delivering the same high standards and results for that next group and next relationship. So for us, it's a very strategic tipping point of when one is rolling off, we have a little bit more time to bring on another one. So for us, it's really about timing when it comes to our scalability. Is it does the time allow for our particular resources because we are so focused on that relationship and making sure that there's a lot of nurturing to continue.
Absolutely. So with that there, expand a bit upon that side on the acquisition. It sounds like obviously you're depending heavily on the referral side. That is the main piece of business to bring in clients for you. So what happens when, that isn't as active on a certain month where we all know the predictability on referrals is not there? Do you have other methods that you're using, whether it's ads that you're running or social media or events? What does that side look like and what challenges are you facing for predictability?
Sure. It's a great question. I focus a lot about this on my particular clients. So I
Yeah.
can tell you their service offerings almost better than I can tell you the Kipling Group service offerings because it's my
Yeah.
job to wear that hat that day. So I
Yeah.
can tell you what my insurance client's doing. I can tell you what my finance client's doing. I can tell you what my international wine clients are doing a little bit more differently than the Kipling Group and the focus there. When it comes to our scalability outside of our referrals, if I were to offer a you do 5 months of consulting with me, you get the 6 month free. That doesn't
Mm.
really work because we're so customized to what is your need. So if you were to say, Jay, I have this podcast and I have the next 9 months, but 10, 11, and 12, those months I don't have booked yet.
Right.
It would be through the listening ship and the viewership of this podcast that helps fill those spots that would make people attracted to getting that. So for me, if I'm making sure my clients are getting those results and I'm attending those meetings with them and I'm attending those high profile client appreciation events, I'm automatically scooping in business cards. I'm automatically adding to my newsletter. And instead of it seeming like it's very organic and it's relationship based. It doesn't mean I'm not making outreach. It doesn't mean I don't have a newsletter. It doesn't mean I'm not staying in contact with people that might be warm or tepid leads. It just means that I've met them in person at least one time or I've been referred to them via an email or a phone call. So for me, it's still relationship driven, even if it's not a direct, this is your next client, Stephanie, served on a platter. Because let's be honest, that's never going to happen.
And that's the thing. So that mindset, I love hearing that mindset and the approach that you're taking. And with that, being that you are seeing that success in person and you want to have that personalized relationship with your clients before working with them, are you still utilizing the ability to run ads for the business to bring those leads coming in at a higher rate and have the best of both worlds? Or is it something that you're not even exploring right now?
It's something I'm exploring with my clients. As for the Kipling Group, at this particular time, that scalability is around a 2026 goal for us. I understand and see the value in advertising because I do that, right? And I implement that as a solution as part of strategic growth for certain clients. As far as the Kipling Group now, we definitively see that in our future. And that's maybe a Q3 2026 type of operation, but it's something we're looking into. And I do get kind of a free glimpse into the research and development and insight into what is scalable. Most of the companies with whom we work are larger than the Kipling Group, so our
Yeah,
scalability differs from an organization that was solopreneur partnership. Three of us working is quite different than the 30, 60, 90, 3,000 company groups that we're working with today.
absolutely. So on that same front, as far as the sales process does go, Stephanie, do you have a sales team, a marketing team? Are you doing the founder-led sales kind of thing? I know with how personal you like things to be. What does that side actually look like right now?
Yeah, it is heavily focused on Stephanie as the sales and marketing team. It
Yeah.
happens to be the largest portion of my personal background, professional background. So if it's a sales and marketing, then I'm definitely going to have my hand in it. But we do have a team helping us on the back end, and we do utilize different tools to help with the planning and time management piece. But when it comes to content, it's going to be pretty much Stephanie driven. My partner, Jane Page, handles the finance back office and the travel and leisure portion of the business. And if I wanted something written in French, she'd be perfect. But if we want it written in English for a broader audience, it's probably going to be coming from Stephanie.
Gotcha. I love that. So, I mean, how does that affect the day to day, being that you are running sales? You're the main closer here for the Kipling Group. How do you juggle that? I would love to hear that, especially for our listeners who are in kind of the similar boat. What does that look like for you? And is that something that you're going to try and bring in maybe some setters, some closers? What's that look like?
No, I appreciate it, especially coming from Closers IO. It's a great little segue there to your business offering outside of the podcast. For me, I wrote an article recently that was about always available, but not always on. I think with technology, we have an availability of constantly being
Yes.
able to get a hold of, and which is wonderful for our clients. But at what point do we have an off button and
Mhm.
not reaching burnout? There's so much burnout in our society that I'm very well aware of that for my own time management. So although I am a primary closer in the company, that doesn't mean I'm always on. So for me, I have really strict scheduling with myself. I have very strict scheduling with my clients, and I maintain those appointments and I maintain that just through the integrity. Doesn't mean I'm not using systems to assist programming. It doesn't mean I'm not using them to assist with time management and planning. It
Right.
just means that I'm utilizing those tools a little bit differently to help shape and model my day.
I love that. Tell me, what can you point to right now, Stephanie, as some of the bottlenecks that you are thinking about, whether it is more predictability on the lead gen and the sales side? What are you looking at that you're looking to break through going into 2026 here?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know a single entrepreneur or solopreneur founder that hasn't thought, gosh, if I could just clone myself, right? Or gosh, if I could have more time and hours in the day. So back to scheduling, I am looking at an additional human capital for the Kipling Group in 2026. I think that we're at that tipping point of a need that I often identify with my clients is at what point is it a fractional employee? At what point is it a full-time employee? And we're definitely at that particular area where the time constraint is becoming a bottleneck for the Kipling Group. So I do think adding some human capital is definitely going to be in the 2026 cards, making sure because I am the type of person that my knowledge is vast and breadth, but an inch deep, it's
Yeah.
finding the expertise that we have. My business partner has two or three niche expertise that are very complementary, and we always want to be adding complementary skill sets. So for us right now, it's we know we're hiring a person. What particular need is going to be their primary focus to make sure it's a very good balance to what we have going on at the Kipling Group now.
I love it. I love that. Do you guys have that in mind of what need you think is standing out the most right now, or is it still up in the air?
It's not up in the air. I think our bespoke consulting side that kind of falls more into sophisticated living, travel, and leisure is my partner's domain. And I think finding a third person to help with the back end would allow that portion of our business to grow because that's her expertise is in high end hospitality and
Mm.
service work. So I think that is going to be an identified area of growth for 2026. And since she's doing the back end that I do sales and marketing, she does accounting and finance. I probably think finding the accounting and finance back end would be where we're leaning heavily. So that's what we see for some time in 2026.
Absolutely love that. So, with that being said, walk me through the rest of this year. What are you really laser focused on here, Stephanie, for that success you're looking to achieve in 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I understand that in the corporate world, we work on metrics, we work on KPIs, we work on are you hitting your number and what is your target revenue? And these are all great. For
Mhm.
me and the Kipling Group, our focus is if our clients are getting their results, then that means we've hit our mark. So I have key metrics that I have with each one of my clients right now, and we are on target or we've already met or exceeded them. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm already thinking into 2026. We have happy customers. We're retaining those customers. So we want retention, we want referrals, and we want to keep building those relationships.
Absolutely incredible. So, with that being said, then talk to me a bit about the mindset or what you're seeing the bespoke consulting industry evolving into in the coming years, especially with your client centered approach. What are you doing to keep yourself at the forefront of the evolution that you're picturing?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's pretty interesting. Anytime I'm going out to a meal with a client, I'm wondering if that location is a great place to host an event for another client. I'm always in research and development mode. Doesn't matter if I'm at a coffee shop, a restaurant, a gym, an art gallery, an airport, a lounge. How can I turn this into an experience that is going to work for the audience of another client? Because if I'm having a good time, that means someone else will be having a good time. If I have a problem and I see exceptional customer service somewhere, I'm going to want to understand how did they reach that exceptional customer service and how can I replicate that for the Kipling Group or how can I replicate that in one of my clients? So I'm constantly in research development mode. Whether as soon as my feet leave my house or leave my office, I'm in R&D mode. What's being done? How can I improve upon it? What's working? How can I implement it in my own business or in the business of my clients?
It's absolutely incredible. So, with that right there, I want to take us into the lightning round here, Stephanie, for our listeners. So, two more questions for you before we wrap it up. The
Sure.
first is going to be on a tool or resource side. So, whether it's a marketing insight, a mentorship strategy, an AI tool, what do you think has been the biggest game changer for the Kipling Group this far?
Oh, twofold. One, mentorship is incredible. When you see someone and you give them the opportunity to put their hands in a lot of different pieces, you're going to find out where they flourish and you're going to watch that person skyrocket. So I
Mhm.
think giving opportunities to young folks, mentoring them and letting them experience a wide breadth of different business services, they're going to find their niche. And there's nothing more exciting than watching that grow. Also, for the Kipling Group, we use AI and we use different tools, right? Like I mentioned, for project management, scheduling, time management. We also use it for our marketing, sales.
Mhm.
Chat GPT is overutilized and underutilized at the same time. Your bots are only as good as you've created them to be. So mine knows AP style. It loves the Oxford comma. And anytime I write any marketing copy, I'm the one that creates it, but that is going to edit it for me. And
Yep.
that's the biggest time saver. Don't use it for your research. We don't know about the fact checking, but we love it for editability.
I love it. I absolutely love that. And then, last but not least, here, Stephanie, what is the best piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now? Just heard your incredible journey and everything you're doing with the Kipling Group. What can you leave them with before we wrap it up?
Sure. Don't let great get in the way of good. I wish I had started a year and a half sooner. I wish I had started when I thought that I was 75% of the way there or 65% of the way there. I didn't even create my website till I was halfway through the first project of our first client. And then my business partner came in and we offered an entirely new service because we found a need. So don't let great get in the way of good. Start now, start today.
I love it. I love it. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And Stephanie, truly just want to thank you so much again for coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey and your insights with myself and the listeners. And just the energy, the passion, the drive is incredible. So thank you again. It was an honor and a pleasure. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and also check out the Kipling Group at thekiplinggroup.com. You can also follow Stephanie on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Stephanie M. Baker. And for more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.